Hello, everyone, and thank you. Good morning or good afternoon to everyone who was able to join us today in this waste session for the selection of questions from the Higg FEM. Today we are going to focus on waste. So we have prepared for you some questions as a background from myself for the ones that didn't join the sessions before. My name is Sandra Teixeira. I have a degree in chemical engineering, and I've been involved in textile industry more than 22 years. From several roles I have developed during my journey on textile industry, I can highlight it as the development of new products, quality assurance, and the team management of a Portuguese retail brand, as also as chemical sales engineer. In the last years, I've been performing environmental audits, also energy and water assessments, as well as chemical risk assessments. For today's agenda, as usual, we have welcome and the introduction to LES. Then we'll have a brief overview of the FEM 4.0 and the new changes. We will focus today on waste part or waste section. Then we will have some added value in implementing the Higg FEM, about some information more about leaderships and sustainability. At the end, as usual, you will have a space reserved to our questions and answers that you may have during this presentation. So what makes us different from the other service providers? Our CEO, Karin Ekberg, has experience of more than 35 years on performance at corporate and strategic level, and also at facility level. She was the head of environmental service at Adidas and also sustainability director at Abloy. So we use a system approach coupled with manufacturing knowledge, and also in order to drive and create change with measurable results. We are also Higg FEM and FSLEM verifiers and trainers, and in these green links you will be able to find more information about us if you wish. As in the previous sessions, we'd like to let you know that during this webinar the audience will be muted in order to ensure the best audio quality. So, but feel free to still address us all your questions and doubts that you may have during this presentation via the Q&A function that is here in the below of the Zoom. And type your questions and send us that they will be answered at the end. As reference for you all, we would like to let you know that you will receive these presentation materials, as well the video record throughout the email that you have used for inscribing yourself into this webinar. Also note that these materials are copyrighted by Cascale and Leadership and Sustainability. Please refrain yourself to share them outside your organization. They are for your use only. Okay. And going to our brief introduction or overview for the FEM 4.0 that has been improved from the last FEM 3.0 in order to address and to align with the most recent standards and best practice. And this started in middle 2020 with several questions that were addressed during these verifications, and in this sense Cascale have improved the Higg FEM in order to make it more up to date. Here, for more information, you can find this information in the technical paper. You will find here the link, as well in how to Higg guide FEM 4.0. Also here you may find more detailed information about the steps that you need to take in order to perform your self-assessment and verifications. On the online, as reference, the online module is available since 2023. Since November 2023, the module is available. Sorry. Also here you can find the cadence for the Higg FEM 4.0 for 2023, and you can purchase your model from November to this October 24. The assessment can be done also from November 23 until December 24, and the posting can be done from January 24 until December 24, and the verification also can be performed from January 24 until December 24. Please note that until 30 of April, after 30 of April, you still be able to complete and post your self-assessment, but you can only post them once. So posting and unposting will not be allowed after the 30 of April. As referred, today we have waste, and we have prepared some questions and as introduction in order to have a better understanding of this section. The idea is to encourage all the facilities to identify all the types of waste that are generated in each of the facilities, and to ensure that all the wastes are appropriately managed on site, like the storage and disposal. How your wastes are treated and disposed or after leaving your facility, this is also really important for you to have and to track and report the quantity of waste that is generated during the verification period. To adopt solutions to reduce waste throughout better manufacturing practice, like recycling, reusing, and using, of course, the preferred waste treatment solutions that are included in FEM, to implement practice to divert waste from landfill and convert it into the circular economy. Of course, this will be the ideal solution for everyone. We know that sometimes this is not really possible, but if you have this possibility, you should consider it in first place, of course. Regarding the waste now is being divided into big categories. That is non-hazard waste, that is any waste that causes no harm to human or environmental health. Non-hazard waste usually includes both non-hazard waste from production as well domestic waste. And the other big category is hazard waste, that is any waste that could cause harm to public health or to the environment because of its chemical, physical, or biological characteristics. For instance, like inflammable, explosive, toxic, radioactive, or infectious. So hazard waste can be some solid liquids or gases. So as some examples of non-hazard waste you can see here in the table, that could be textile waste, leather waste, rubber waste, metal, plastic, paper, cans, wood, food waste, glass, cartoons or forms, pre-water treated sludge that is non-hazard, that you have those testing reports that support that this is non-hazard waste, general or unspecified waste, slag that you also have that reporting or testing report that is non-hazard, or any other waste that will be non-hazard. As hazard waste, we have here also some examples that can be empty chemical drums or containers that are not properly cleaned, some film and printing frame, pre-water treated sludge, hazard, and also here you should have this report so you understand if it is hazard or non-hazard, some expired or unused chemicals like waste oil or solvents or reactants that you may have in your facilities. Compressed gas cylinders like refrigerant containers, contaminated materials, batteries, fluorescent light bulbs, ink cartridge, waste oil and grease from cooking, and waste oil and grease from production that is not cooking, metal sludge, empty containers like cleaning, sanitizing, and pesticide, electronic waste, coal combustion residuals like fly ash and bottom ash coal or coal slag hazards, or others. So all these are some of the wastes that you can find at your facility that are classified as hazard. Of course, you always should be aware about your regulation country, of your country's regulation, in order to understand and separate your waste according to your legal requirements. So also this is really important to be aware. Mainly, usually most of the countries and regions are obliged by law to, at the end of the year, to report their wastes according to their categories. So you also here already have a clue how to separate and segregate your wastes. Regarding the waste disposal methods, Higg have defined preferred options for, and these include material recovery, like reuse, recycling, including also the upcycling and the downcycling. Then we have the less preferred options like energy recovery or non-valorized disposal, like incineration with energy recovery for non-recyclables only. Then we have the energy recovery from residual management, like physical, chemical, or biological treatments. On-site incineration without energy recovery for non-recyclables. Off-site incineration without energy recovery from non-recyclables. These are the less preferred options, and then also non-valorized disposal or other treatment. A non-valorized disposal responsibility managed landfills for waste that cannot be managed in any other options as less preferred options. And we still have the least preferred options defined by FEM, that are energy recovery, incineration with energy recovery for recyclables, landfill dumping with no control measures, on-site incineration without energy recovery for recyclables, off-site incineration without energy recovery from recyclables, or any other process that will not involve any value to the waste or to residues. Of course, here the idea is always the first one is to reuse, recycle. Regarding the questions that we have today for the summary of these new questions, some important information was added here, like the segregation and tracking for non-hazard and hazard waste, because in previous versions of FEM 3.0, only the separation from hazard and non-hazard was not clearly requested. And also the validation of final disposal of all waste. So you should ensure that your waste after leaving your facility is getting the proper disposal by the agents or contractors or vendors that you are using. So it's really important that you gather all the information related to these subcontractors that you are using to dispose of the agents, to confirm they have the proper and valid permits so they can do this kind of activity. Also, there is a new and important focus on FEM now is related to the employee training. Related personnel with the waste handling is having the training and knowledge evaluation, post-training evaluation, and if they are getting the proper training to handle these residues. Also, the definition of baselines and targets, waste baseline and reduction targets. You should define yourself, and also the circular economy participation and approach description for the residues is a good starting point in order for you to reduce the amount of residues that you are having in your facility. As we saw in the previous modules, here we have the questions for waste in the waste section divided in the 3 levels of the questions, level 1, level 2, and level 3. And as usual, highlighted in bold, we can find all the questions that are introduced, that are new or rephrased in the Higg FEM 4.0. We have selected as level 1 question, track of non-hazard waste. Does your facility track each non-hazard waste streams that it's been generated? And here, if you say yes, you should track this waste stream and describe the amount or the quantities that is of this waste stream that did you generate during the reporting year. Also, it's really important to pay attention to the unit of measurement, which methods was used to track this waste stream, how did you collect, and if you were weighing it, measuring it. This is really important. How was this waste to dispose of? Which are the agents that were using to dispose this kind of waste, and to describe the waste management disposal of these waste streams. We often find here now, and since this is a new question, sometimes the part of non-hazard waste is not being delivered as it should according to Higg requirements. So you need to be aware that regarding the non-hazard waste, you should take the same measures as the hazard waste. Regarding the storage, the ventilation, the impermeabilization of the ground, the fire protection, so all the health and safety measures that you are taking towards the hazard waste, also you should take regarding the non-hazard waste. So as suggested uploads for this tracking for non-hazard waste, you should have the waste inventory of all non-hazard waste streams generated at the facility. And as I referred, usually, depending of course on the country that you are located, usually at the end of the year, you have to report these values to your government. So here you can use this as an idea, or to prepare those documents that you are reporting to the government. You need to have, of course, a tracking record. So at the end, you will report the proper amounts of each one of the hazards that you have in your facility. Waste quantity disposal, tracking records that shows that the quantity of waste disposal in the reporting year, all the waste manifest and internal records, logbooks, depending how frequently these wastes are collected from your vendors. So you need to register or record all those information and amounts of waste that are being disposed or delivered to your agents that will have the final disposal. All the documentation that shows the final disposal, as I referred, and also please pay attention to the permits that these agents have in order to see if they have the proper permit or with valid date for the permit. As level 2 question, we have also related to the disposal methods, and this here will not verify question level 2 as referred previously in the previous sessions. This year for 2023 data validation or verification of your self-assessment, only questions level 1 will be verified, and quantitative metrics, quantitative data regarding water and energy. So you know that this will not be verified, but it's really important that you are aware of this question. So for the future verifications, this will be in place. So it's important to start now and prepare yourself for the next part. Which waste disposal methods are used for your facility waste? So you should select all from the available options. If they are preferred options like material recovery, reuse, recycling, and including upcycling and downcycling. If you are using less preferred options like energy recovery, incineration with energy recovery for non-recyclables only, residual management, physical, chemical, and biological treatment, or non-valorized disposal, on-site incineration without energy recovery from non-recyclables, off-site incineration without energy recovery for non-recyclables. So also here, we have the non-valorized disposal also from other treatment responsibility managed landfills for waste that cannot be managed in any other from any other options under the preferred options or less preferred options. So, and the least preferred options, as we saw previously, energy recovery, landfill dumping or with no control measures, on-site incineration without energy recovery for recyclables, and off-site incineration without energy recovery for recyclables or others. As you can see here, of course, the ideal situation should be the first one, the preferred options that are including recycle and reuse of the waste materials, and then only the others with energy or energy recovery from non-recyclable materials, then the less preferred options, and at the end, the least preferred options. Of course, this also will depend on the available collection and treatment of the waste in the location that you are placed. But just for you to keep in mind what should be the best ideal scenario in order to divert all the waste from the landfilling. As a level 3 question example, we have waste disposal and treatment. Does your facility validate the final disposal and treatment of all non-hazard wastes? And here you should describe how you work with your facilities waste contractors to ensure appropriate disposal during waste treatment. So you should be certain or aware about which are the final disposal of the waste that are being given by your contractor. And also here, as suggested uploads, you should upload all the documents at the facility validates the waste disposal and treatment with its waste contractors. Some examples: you can have documents, procedures for validation reviews and assessments, complete validation assessment reports of waste contractors. So these are the kind of evidence or that will support your questions and your replies in the Worldly platform, and the documents that you should upload in each one of these questions. Also here, as I referred, there is a part that are related to quantitative data that you should pay attention, and this relates to the overall documentation for the waste generation generated by each waste stream in an annual generation, training your employees whose work involves directly with non-hazard waste and handling, and the frequency, which are the training programs, and also how do you evaluate your employees after the training in order to understand if the training was really effective and they are able to follow your procedures and handling safely the hazards. Also, the number of employees that were trained according to or that are involved in hazard waste, the frequency of the training, the document quantity of waste based on disposal methods. And these are the kind of questions that you should have regarding the waste management section and the quantitative data that you'll be needed to present. Regarding some added values for the Higg FEM implementation, and according to our team, LES team, here you can see where we are located around the globe. Also, we have some experts in several countries. So here also you can find that information if you wish to contact us for verifications. And also you have here our contact persons according to the regions. You can directly contact them. Some information according to our website, where you can find guidance on how to Higg, and some from the previous webinars that we have conducted, as other information valuable that you can find there also in our website. And also here you can find our global team and our link, the link to our website, also the link to our e-learning platform, where we have a step-by-step course for Higg FEM, where you can learn about a bit more about Higg FEM, where all the new questions are included. And you can email us through the email and phone number if you wish, or if you have any doubts, you can feel free to contact us, please. And now we are open to questions and discuss all the questions that you may have. So just let me stop sharing my screen so I can see all your questions that you have addressed to us. So let me see if I can open them. I'm going to. Okay. So can you explain energy recovery from recyclables? So here, when we speak about energy recovery from recycle, is when you are incinerating or producing energy throughout incineration from waste that could be recyclable or reused. So of course this will not be a preferred option if the first one is reuse or recycle this kind of wastes. So that is the idea. how can I exactly validate waste disposal from the waste contractor? So you should first understand once you contract once you contract a vendor or a contractor for disposal of your waste, to understand if they have the appropriate means to treat that waste stream and to give that final end. And by that, you can also have some audits or verifications, or through the vendor or through the contractor, according to the waste disposal that they say that they are able to do. According to the documents, you can also confirm in the permits if they are allowed to perform that kind of waste disposal that you are contracting them. So also in the permits, when you have the contractor, there is a list of the available or of the possibilities that they have, and what are the ways they can treat. So that is the kind of actions that you can take in order to ensure that the waste contractor is able to dispose your waste accordingly. So reuse means that you are reusing the same without any treatment. The question is, what is the difference between reuse and recycle? So the reuse means that you are, imagine you have a can or a plastic container that you are going to reuse in something else without any transformation. And recycle means that you are using these materials as raw material for another product. That could be a product with better quality, and that is what is called upcycling, or can be a product with lower quality, and that is what called downcycling. So means that, imagine that you have some residue, some plastic, you have plastic extrusion in your facility, and then you have some residual waste from this plastic extraction, or some defective pieces that are not good to be used in your production. So this can be recycled, can be smashed, and to produce new plastic to be used in other products that could be from higher quality or the lower quality. Is it required to visit waste disposal vendor site, or we can take declarations from the vendor that they have license from government? Yes, you can have, it's not mandatory to visit the waste disposal, but this is a good practice that you can do in order to ensure that your waste is being disposed accordingly. And of course, the declaration from the vendor, or that have the license from the government, you should have that license in your possession. So and take note if this license has the valid dates, because also these lights for the waste disposal vendors, they have an expiration date, and you need to confirm that they are able to do it, and they are according to the local law or region, they are able to do it, and they are still under a valid permission. So this is really important for you to be aware. Are any requirements for incineration in case there are another? No, if there is no other option than incineration, that is the case. But the idea is really to leave these options and to the end, if there is no other option to treat these ways, okay, it's okay to do it by incineration, but first you should explore which are the other preferred options for disposal of waste, of course, available in your region or in your country. how you validate upcycle method option and what should be the preferable docs to prove it? For instance, if you are, using the same example that I have explained before, if you are selling, for instance, this part of this residue as a subproduct, this is a way to prove that, and you have the invoices, so you sold these wastes as raw material to produce other articles. So you can always validate this upcycling with these, and which is the products that are going to be used in. If I cutting how to use steam produce, it is reuse of energy recovery. No, here when we speak about reuse, here we are in the part of waste. So steam is not, or water is not a waste. So here, if I understand properly your question, I think the steam, if I cutting just for use of steam, is reuse or energy recovery. Meaning if you are using waste to produce steam, yeah, it could be. If you are using waste or you are incinerating waste to produce energy or produce steam, steam is a source of energy. If it is that the question, yes. What is the difference between recycling and upcycling? I guess I have already replied to this question, that recycling include upcycling and downcycling. Upcycling means that you are using your residues to produce higher quality products, and downcycling means that you are using your waste residues to produce less quality products. So I don't know if there is any other questions. We still have time. Please provide us with your question regarding this waste. No more questions? Okay, let me see. Yes, you will be receiving the PPT via the email that you have used to inscribe yourself in this webinar. They will be provided by you with also the link for the video record if you wish to revise this video and information. So I see if there is no, another one, sorry. Our cost above 90% waste is being recycled, upcycled. Then in question, have your facility improved waste disposal facility from baseline in a question? What will be our answer? Here you need to compare yourself with the baseline that you have set for this waste recycling or upcycling. And in order to have a full point question, you need to have both reduction against your baseline, so the value that you have defined, if the baseline was, sorry, normalized or absolute. I always advise that you should use normalized baseline, because you will have a better idea of your waste streams, of your waste generation per kilogram of produced articles that you are doing in your facility. So in order to have a full points here, you should meet both the reduce against the baseline value that you have set in your baseline, and also in absolute amount regarding the comparing here. So in order to fulfill the questions, if you only meet one of those, you will have only partial points here. Thank you so much for your nice training. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have any more questions here, but if you're not, and also if something arises, you always can address us by email. And we will reply to you. So once more, thank you so much for attending to this training and wish you all the luck, and see you next week for the last session that will be chemical management. Thank you all. Sorry, another one. Are you both option on reduction target regardless normalized or absolute? Will be the same score or different? Are both questions on reduction targets regardless? Yes, yes. The question here, when I refer that you should meet both or normalized or absolute, this depends how you have defined your baseline. So you need to, I advise you to use the normalized baseline, because you will have a better, much more clear idea about the amount of waste that you are producing, because will not be influenced by the production. If you have more or less production, you will have a specific amount of waste per kilogram. If you are using the absolute value, you can do it, but of course you will not have this so clear idea, because this will be influenced by the fluctuations on your production. So that's why we recommend you to use the normalized baselines, but of course you can use the absolute one also. So if there is no other question, I will say goodbye for today and see you then next week. Bye-bye. Have a nice day, and thank you so much for attending. Bye-bye.